Hello, everybody. I am Toyinda Smith, the author of The Handbook to Dominate Your Confidence Using 4 Practical Steps. This book is all about taking action. If you struggle with your confidence in terms of having a level of fear, maybe not having the faith that you need in order to get the job done. This book is going to help you to master winning with certainty. I talk about 4 V's. The first V is vantage, that second V is your voice, that third V is your visibility, and the fourth V is vigor. If you want to dominate your confidence, I want you to click the link below. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the fourth August installment of the Coaching Seat TV with Toyinda LaShea, where we're all about sitting in our seat of authority so that the kingdom citizens can be infused with the power to dominate confidence, unleash potential, and leave a legacy. Now, this is accomplished through extracting distractions, limiting beliefs, and interferences. I am Toyinda LaShea, prophetess, best-selling author, business consultant, master coach, and public speaker mentor. I am also the creator of 4 initiatives: the Champion Influence Coach Certification Program, the Champion Influence Create Champion Conversations Public Speaking course, the Champion Influence Leadership and Coaching Curriculum, and the Coaching Seat Continuing Education Platform. We are back in the studio with Miss Jessica Cohen. She is the Impact Coach. She's a visionary, a progress facilitator, and I'm so excited to have her to be a part of the family. Jessica, welcome back.
Thank you again for having me, Toy.
Wonderful. So, Jessica, I'm just gonna share a little bit for those of you all who did not have an opportunity to watch the previous interviews. Jessica, give us a little overview of Sparks Solutions Coaching and Consulting.
Sure. So it is a coaching and consulting LLC
Mm-hmm.
where we serve those who are serving others. Oftentimes that looks like intervention or support or enhancement for the nonprofit entity.
Mm-hmm.
We also work with individuals, professional athletes, and the faith based organization,
Mm-hmm.
all to craft and implement their social impact plan.
I love that. So, talk a little bit about some of the work that you've done with faith-based organizations, specifically those who are seeking to issue social impact.
A lot of the work first looks like educating. So
Mm-hmm.
we have to explore the benefits of implementing a social impact plan.
Mm-hmm.
Earlier this summer, I hosted a webinar and we had people from all over the United States inquiring about this vehicle for evangelism that is social impact, right? And so they wanted to learn what the benefits were and how they go about doing so. So there's a process.
Mm-hmm.
The first question is what's going on in your community? What needs to be corrected? Who needs support? What's bothering you? And oftentimes, if you pay attention to the news or the
Mm-hmm.
newspaper, your congregation knows there's gang violence, there's homelessness, we have a domestic violence issue, there's poverty. So you identify the issue that you want to address,
Mm-hmm.
and then you look internally at your congregation and you do what I call an asset assessment, which is
Ooh.
really fun because, and I spoke about this in the webinar, when
Mm-hmm.
you sit on gifts, you can experience
Wow.
gift atrophy.
Oh my
So
gosh.
as an athlete, I tore both of my ACLs, but I experienced muscle atrophy, which is
Mm-hmm.
when the muscle is depleted because we don't use it. So when you sit on gifts and you don't use them, you lose it. So you look in
Wow.
your congregation, you see who can do what, you see what affiliations exist, you see what certifications or degrees or just innate personalities exist within the congregation, and then you begin crafting your plan from there. You look at your toolkit, you look at the issue, and you start working.
Right. So I pulled from this many things, but I want to go back to social impact equals evangelism.
Yes.
What happens when you share that with faith based organizations? I mean, are we really thinking about it in that way? What normally happens?
So, because of the separation of church and state,
Mm-hmm.
oftentimes people don't want to work with religious affiliations
Okay.
because they want to be politically correct.
Yes.
But you don't have to preach the gospel through your mouth. You can demonstrate it through your actions
Mm-hmm.
and your efforts. And oftentimes you can touch people just by serving them and being there for them. So, that's a great way to lead by your efforts and really pull people into your congregation.
I love the concept. Ah, Jessica, you are indeed the impact coach. Um, so you talked a little bit about the webinar that you had. What is another activity or transformation opportunity that you're working on?
Ooh, I'm excited to share this. So September 1st, tickets will go on sale
Uh-huh.
for the Social Impact Conversation Series.
Wow.
So it's a week of conversation. I have a slew of contractors and consultants for the nonprofit entity who specialize in different facets who are going to be joining the conversation.
Right.
So we'll have finance, communication, we'll have sustainability, and we'll talk about startups. And you guys will get to witness the conversation. You'll be able to ask questions. All participants will get a digital workbook, which will have a cheat sheet devised by the consultants. And it's an international event. I failed to mention that earlier. We have a couple of people from different continents who are going to be joining. So just even that unique aspect of hearing what impact looks like in a different continent or a different country, I think is going to add value to the audience as well.
That
So
is
September
awesome.
1st. Yeah.
So September 1st, it's a week-long event. And how would an individual register for that?
You can visit servingtheserver.com and you purchase your ticket based on the day. So if the whole conference doesn't apply to you, you pick what's most relevant to where you are in your impact, progress or process and plan. So if you're looking to start a nonprofit, then the first day is really going to be what pertains to you. And so
Right.
you would choose that day and you would pick a ticket for that day.
That is awesome. Jess, you are rocking it out. You know, I was just sitting here thinking, what would cause a faith-based organization not to consider a social impact as a focus? What are some barriers or interferences or distractions that may come up?
That's a good question. One probably would be lack of knowledge, not knowing that that was something that was possible. I would also say, too, just the negative connotation or the feedback or the hit that they may take from jumping into that conversation. They may be fearful of chafing or rubbing some people the wrong way, or they may feel like they're not equipped to do so. I'm not exactly sure what the source of the lack of involvement may be. I know a lot of people who are in the congregation may be issuing efforts, just not collaboratively within their church, but they could be doing so outside of the church on their job or with their group of friends.
So the benefits of issuing to seek social impact would be what?
There are several. So one, you're taking a very aggressive position in a conversation that influences your community. And you should be a player in your community, right? You have to deal with the things that are going on outside of the church. Two, if you just think about it from the congregation standpoint, if you're seeking regulated funding, you have an opportunity to employ some of the members in your congregation who may be seeking jobs. You can also provide opportunity to the youth within the congregation. They can get committee and board and fundraising experience at a very early age. We know that opportunity isn't equally distributed. So if you take that position of we're going to create opportunity, you then get to determine who gets to take advantage of it and who it's issued to, and you benefit your congregation.
I love it. Jessica, you are so sharp, honey. Jessica and I will never part. I love it. So now, just if somebody's looking to issue social impact, how do you offer to assist faith-based organizations to create the plan for it? Like, do you offer strategy sessions? Like, what normally happens?
Definitely. Strategy sessions are like a one-time thing.
Okay.
So someone may have a question, or the leadership team may have a question,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm available for that. But oftentimes it looks like a contract. We have, this a period that we've set aside to achieve a goal.
Mm-hmm.
So we look at what's in the community. I encourage the congregation to explore what's happening around them.
Mm-hmm.
And then again, so once we do that external analysis, internally we see what we're equipped to do,
Mm-hmm.
and then we start building from there. And one thing that's specifically vital to consider is if they want to seek regulated funding, because with regulated funding comes regulations. So depending on how you want to operate, we may need to create a 501c3, or you can just do a charity drive or issue some sort of advocacy or partnership.
Yeah, so I'm going to interrupt our communication because I am hearing the Lord say that there's a book that's tied into this, as well as almost like a certificate program that is connected to what you're doing specifically in the social impact.
Oh, yeah.
Is that chiming with you? Are you feeling, some significance there?
I'm gleaming in the inside. That feels really good to hear.
Yeah.
Thank you again. You're always challenging me, pushing me forward. So thank you for just communicating that. I'm definitely open to that. And I feel like we spoke about in the other segments that exponential impact.
Yeah.
Realistically, I can't get into the conversation of every faith-based organization.
Right.
But if I can streamline those efforts and create a stencil or a curriculum, something that's going to allow them to facilitate their own progress within guidelines, yes, let's do it.
Good,
So you've given me
good.
something to think about.
Yes, good deal. So it's my hope, this is my desire, that faith-based organizations will consider Jessica's services and the results that she brings to the table, because it's all about the results, right? It's not that I'm coming in with content and knowledge, but it's about the results that you deliver. So what's next for you? What is next?
So in my intellectual property, I'm able to contribute to what the service entities are doing, but I am also creating some tools that looks like software.
Ooh,
so
I
I'm
love this.
developing some tools to enhance, facilitate, and leverage their efforts, as well as collect some real-time credible data, because we know when we're talking about impact, we have to be able to communicate value, and oftentimes that looks like data and statistics. So I'm
Absolutely.
excited. I'm all for resources, opportunities, or anything I can do to leverage the people who are doing the work.
That is really cool. So my mind is saying, does this look like an app of some sort?
Yes, it's twofold. There's a back end that service providers will have, the community-based organizations, the public health service providers, the people who are issuing any type of voc rehab services. There's a back end that they will have that will look like software. And then the audience, the people that they're working with, they will have the app capability.
Right. So it sounds like Jessica has the capability to potentially create apps for faith-based organizations. I mean, I think that would be phenomenal, where the congregation can come in and they can download things on the app, maybe Bible studies on the app, a worksheet connected to Bible study, questions where questions can be shot out to the different individuals that are leading the church. I'm just thinking out loud, Jess, because again, as you mobilize, as you continue to push out there, the sky is the limit. And because you serve the Almighty God, He will indeed push you forward.
Oh, I'm with it. This is how I operate. Tell me what the problem is and tell me what you need.
Yes.
And we'll go
love
from
that.
there.
I love it. So what are your last thoughts to share? We got to wrap up. Last thoughts for faith-based organizations, athletic entities, nonprofit organizations.
Thank you again for having me and just allowing me the platform to share what I feel on purpose to do. When it comes to social impact, we all have a responsibility to issue one. How are you serving the body? And so I really just want to encourage people to start thinking about their experiences and their gifts, because oftentimes your purpose is tied to that. And then think of ways that you can contribute to the betterment of what you're seeking to implement.
That's good. Give us your social media handles and your website again.
Sure. So my website is servingtheserver.com. My personal Facebook page is Jessica Cohen. You can find me on Instagram under Spark Solutions CC. I also have that Facebook page, which is Spark Solutions CC. And I'm on LinkedIn as Spark Solutions CC.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Coach Jessica, the
Thank you.
Impact Coach. You are doing a phenomenal job and representing the Champion Influence Program well. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you next month. Hello, everybody. I want to invite you to purchase my book, The Handbook to Unleash Your Potential in 6 Practical Steps. If you are struggling with stagnation, suppression, and being stale in business, in leadership, in ministry, this book is for you. I give you 6 practical steps to achieve in life. Welcome to the Coaching CTV with Toyinda LaShea, where we're all about sitting in our seat of authority so that the kingdom community can be infused with the power to dominate confidence, unleash potential, and leave a legacy. This is accomplished through extracting limiting beliefs, distractions, and interferences. I am so excited for the opportunity to be on Dominion TV with the powerful Dr. Dutton and Pastor Lynette Dutton. Make sure you download the app for Dominion TV, as well as catch this broadcast every Tuesday at 5:30 p.m. I want you to share it with your community, your clients, and your customers.